materials online.
Will start now.
Thank you. Thank you, Martha.
Okay.
So I think I'll just take a couple of minutes, maybe 5 minutes to conclude. We are lacking time, so we really don't have an opportunity for Q&A. So I think the way this session panned out, I think the speakers have done an excellent job in capturing every dimension of this debate, which is required to understand how this spectrum can be used and what kind of value that it can create for the consumer. Now, what Martha, I'll just start with Martha, with a very important point. She says that this particular spectrum, which is basically being talked about in this session for delicensing for Wi-Fi, it is going to be a complement for 5G services. Very, very important point. It is not at all in competition to 5G. It is a complement for 5G. That is point number one to be noted. The second point that emanated out of this debate is that how to unlock efficient utilization of spectrum. How do you ensure that you are able to deploy your technologies in such a way that you do not hamper with some of the services which exist in this particular band, which is satellite services and FSS links, which might get disturbed with a manner which typical exclusive licensed services work. So therefore, unlicensed services actually kind of make their way through without disturbing these services. That's the point number two, which is very, very important. And then we came on the international trend because the device ecosystems and the cost of ownership of device is very, very important, because unless the devices are affordable, no band can be of any value. So here, Martha, again, pointing to Martha, she basically said that she has a tracker and she's been monitoring the devices. There are some 1,262 Wi-Fi devices already by Q4 22, which is significant, which actually kind of adds a lot of value for Wi-Fi deployment. So India should leverage that, because if you don't leverage that, you are basically depriving the consumer of the kind of value and affordability that brings on the table. So that's the third point. The fourth point is the kind of services which can get deployed, which we can deploy, which is not possible to get deployed right now with the current Wi-Fi spectrum which is available. Now, we'll definitely like to thank the government of unlocking more spectrum for Wi-Fi in the 5 gigahertz band. Sufficient amount of spectrum is available, which was not there earlier. I would not say sufficient, but I would say a lot of spectrum is available, which was not there earlier. But still, it is insufficient from the point of view of the services that we are talking about and the channel size that we are talking about, which is 320 megahertz of channel size. Not possible because that spectrum is fragmented. There is a hole in that spectrum because there is satellite there, which is having, which we can't use that particular spectrum because of the interference which is going to cause into satellite. It's not a contiguous band. So that's the fourth point. And the fifth point is flexibility of usage, because licensed spectrum is definitely brings a lot of value, but it is managed by the operator from the point of view of deployment of services. So you really cannot have the flexibility to use that services without going through the operators. Whereas Wi-Fi has brought a lot of value on the table because it provides the consumer with flexibility. He can deploy the services anywhere where he wants. He doesn't have to go through the operator, which has unlocked a lot of value, and the potential to unlock another set of values or take this value to some other level of proportion can only happen when similar kind of spectrum can be made available for unlicensed operation, which can synergize with the 5G applications bandwidth capability. Because if suppose, let's say, if the pipe is fatter on the licensed spectrum side and it is not fat enough to able to interwork with the licensed spectrum, which has got tremendous amount of spectrum. Like if you look at millimeter wave, there are a lot of spectrum available there. So it will make the pipe fatter and fatter. The thickness of the pipe will increase. And therefore, in order for the services to be used indoor, you need to have similar capabilities at the Wi-Fi network also. If you don't, then you will basically have a bottleneck. And that bottleneck is not going to help you. So that is the fifth point. So given all these points, And given the manner in which the technology is developing, I think that the speakers have done an excellent job in presenting all the dimensions. I think it's a very, very, panel has been very good because they have kept the time. They brought all the dimensions of this debate. And I really want to thank all the speakers and thank the audience for their patient listening. Thank you very much.